Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Sam from the Soul of Stella, and I've got another collective reading for you today. It's been a month since we've done one. I do them every month. So this is the collective for March, and as usual, I'm just going to get a couple of themes out and then just see whatever spirit wants us to discuss further. And of course, because it is a collective reading, only take what resonates and don't let anything take from you. So Spirit, what are the main themes for the collective in March? What is happening that we need to know about, we need to discuss? Okay. We've got the 4th house and roots. So talking about family, home, nurturing, genetics, ancestry. We've got the 1st house and self. So this talks about your physical body, your identity, self-image, also new beginnings, about appearance mainly, okay? And then Virgo, the alchemist. So this says methodical, aligned, ritualistic, efficient, insightful, healthy, dutiful, discerning, witchy, subtle, pure, refined, accurate, solitary, curatorial, critical, nervous, perfectionist. This gives me woodland fairy vibes at the moment, this Alchemist Virgo card. So we're talking about, I mean, it's my favorite topic really, isn't it? The alchemy of life, how to alchemize your life. We're talking about how to take something that feels like nothing or it feels like raw material and turning it into gold, turning it into something beautiful. And when this is combined with, I feel like putting that in the middle, when this is, you know, the main themes and it's combined with home and family and roots and your image, it does feel like we're trying to have a glow up, we're trying to transform. And I hear the word transmute, and that is a very alchemist kind of feeling where it's like you take the pain, you process it, and you actually use that as inspiration to move forward to build a new home for yourself, metaphorically speaking, or literally speaking, of course. But metaphorically, it's like redecorating. It could be that you actually need to move because it's going to put you in a safer space where then you can step into who you're really meant to be. Your self-image can then be explored, the boundaries or the bandwidth from which and I feel pressure on my hands, almost like I've got an elastic around me. So something might be keeping you confined at this point in time. And in March, what you've really been asked to do is focus on the detail, because Virgo is very much about get attention to detail and like ticking things off a list. It feels like this has been a long time coming. You've been wanting to expand. You've been wanting to like push those boundaries out to where you feel like, hey, this is who I am. And that showman song, like here I am, or this is me. It's that kind of like announcement to the world. Wow, okay, you could be coming out. That message has come through in another reading in February. But it feels like you're coming out as who you're really meant to be. It might not be about your sexuality. It's like dressing how you want to dress, dressing your home how you want to dress, speaking how you want to speak. If you want to put on an Elvis accent for as long as you want, like for the rest of your life, you do that. I feel called to look at the bottom of the deck though. Mercury, communication, words, thoughts, perception, narrative. What lens are you seeing yourself through, and what lens do you want other people to see you through? I feel like there's clarity of communication coming, and I think with this transmute energy, it is kind of asking you to take a pause and to look at self. When was the last time you journaled? When was the last time you spoke to yourself in a quiet space, in the early hours of the morning and late hours of the night, and just I feel like you've got to put pen to paper here. I'm not going to lie. I know that a lot of us in the spiritual community do talk about journaling and do talk about putting pen to paper, but there's something very alchemizing about that. The ink flows out of the pen and it hits the paper, and the paper has been formed from the trees, and there's so much alchemy that comes. And then once you pour all those feelings out, once you pour all that list out, it feels very list on this side. Like here I've got to I just heard tint my windows. Okay, very specific. Fluff the pillows. You know, like karate chop down the middle. Like you're really primping and preening, and you're really standing back and admiring your work. So, I mean, a lot of feng shui experts do kind of talk about moving around 7 items in each room to cleanse, to give it a bit of a new energy, to promote the movement of energy. You might also want to get some Palo Santo, and smoke some situations out of your house. Perhaps you're having someone move out of your house and it feels very fresh, and so now you're like, well, who am I without this person living here? It may even be that I'm hearing a pet has passed, so condolences. I know how heartbreaking that can be, but I'm also seeing that perhaps you're remembering the pet, or you're beautifying that situation, that sad situation, and I'm having a need to really crack my wrists. They're very tight, so that elastic feeling, it feels like it's been causing you physical pain to not express yourself. And I feel the pet that's coming through here is calling you to, almost like there was a limit when I was around. Okay, very specific. I am sorry about this, but got to say what comes through. There was a limit to something you were allowed to do or were inspired to do, or that you couldn't do when I was here. And now that you have the space, or now that you have permission, or now that you I'm laughing because it's like that now that I'm not going to chew it, and now that I'm not going to destroy it, with love, I only paid attention to it because I admired it. This is the pet. But there's something about immortalizing that pet in a cool artwork that's not kitschy. Okay, so that's not like what everyone else has, that isn't corny. There's something very unique that you would like to express, and I'm also feeling there's some element of nostalgia that you're wanting to express. So of course with this pet, that's not going to be for everyone, but even passed over loved ones, it's if you have jewelry of theirs, if you have shells from special moments of travels that you spent with this person, or that were handed down to you, it's putting heirlooms on display in this 4th house roots. And it gives you a sense of person. It gives you a sense of place, and it gives you a sense of my space. Wow, my space. Throwback nostalgia. But I feel like that comes through for a reason as well, because it felt like a very bold expression of who we were. It was kind of like the first platform where we were allowed to change the background, put music here, show all our photos. And it was very, people spent a lot of time getting their MySpace page, almost like a website of here's who I am. And I feel like you're doing that now with your home, and not kind of molding into any kind of box. And so you're able, and it's interesting because it's a box bed here that's on display. So you might have a bed like that. And you're mixing styles. You're able to fully express this new version of yourself, and it feels really good. It feels very comforting. And I'm also hearing that perhaps you wanted to do more of this. There's a lot of you that may have wanted to do more of this during the pandemic, but perhaps there was still healing to do. I just got almost like a drop, like I just went down a big hill or a roller coaster drop, my stomach just dropped. That might have been a very difficult time for some of you, and although you were looking around at the 4 walls of your home, and thinking, I want to express myself here. There was deep healing that needed to be done. And so, and I think the pandemic just added to that. And so now that you've become, like, you've stepped into healthier habits, now you feel inspired to follow through on expression. Now, when we come over to this first house and the physical body, I feel like that these two go very much hand in hand, but it's also, the home is like the testing ground, I feel. And then you open the door. There's even like it's almost like a garden door, or like a gateway to like a new realm, like if you were to walk into your own kingdom. So I do feel like, okay, I just heard your doormat, your front door matters. Your front door matters. At my front door, I've got a money plant that I put like $2 coins in to inspire its growth, and put it in the right amount of light. So sometimes it will go like a reddy color, and sometimes it will go like a bright green color. Very proud of that plant. And then I propagate it. I pull bits off it because it's very like almost succulent like, so very hardy. And I propagate that, put it in a smaller pot, also put a $2 coin in it, and then gift it to people, and they often have them at their front door as well. I'm hearing red ribbon as well, or wreaths. Okay, so I didn't even realize there's actually like a welcome mat in this image. There you go. There's something that says a lot about who you are the minute you walk in, but again, it comes back to something to do with feng shui. It's a welcoming effect, but it's not for the visitors. It's for you, okay? It's for you. There's a lot of like cloud coming through this door. So again, I'm really feeling like as you cleanse your home, open the windows, let some wind actually go through, let some things like fly around. Like I know if I open the door over here, everything in front of me just goes whoosh, because it's right on the water. And I feel there's a need to let fresh air into your home. But as you do this, there's a threshold that you step across with your own self-image and the way you perceive yourself. And that Mercury and communication was really coming through there. But it's like, it's almost like this is the testing ground. And how confident can I feel with that? And then I start on myself. And that's, although the healing started inside, you weren't quite ready to do the outside body glow up just yet, or there was a lot that needed to, it's like unsticking emotions from like your small intestine and I have to say your bowel. Like it's really like a cleanse and unsticking things and detoxifying your pineal gland, your third eye chakra. Like really look into how to detoxify that. That's something that I'm also very passionate about. So very interesting. This is very like right up my alley. And I'm also into interior design. I studied interior design, and then I have been really focusing on my own health. So a lot of you might actually be called in similar directions at the moment. There is a sense of like, there's a pause with who is residing, and I just heard abiding. Okay, abiding. So there may have been like house rules and someone wasn't abiding to those rules, but also who is now residing in your home. I do feel the spirit around a lot of you. I do feel ancestors around a lot of you. Some of you may have been really delving into like the paranormal or spirit work, or looking into your Akashic records, looking into your family tree and your ancestry. There's something about bringing the knowledge that you have recently gained and processing that alchemy again. It feels like you're putting a magic wand to this information, and poof, there comes like the expression of that part of you becomes expressed physically, tangibly in your possessions, in your home. And then you start to process that internally. I think you have been processing it a lot internally, but it starts to then settle. So you've cleaned out the gunk, and then you bring in this new information, and you've cleansed your physical body. There's a purge, I feel, a very detoxifying purge. And you may have started like a January to February kind of cleanse for your physical body. And then it starts to show up, right? You've crossed the threshold and you start to then focus on, what do I wear? How do I hold myself? Posture is big here, but it is an entry point to understanding your ego, understanding this personality that now has this safe space to transform, to glow, to appear, and how you wear that, how you wear your own confidence, how you wear this deeper identity that is being exposed, okay? And your temperament, it's like, I'm deciding to smile more often. There is a sense of that. It's like, what makes people more attractive? It often isn't, and as much as society will have us believe, it often isn't the parts of their physicality that all match together, because often some beautiful like standard beautiful models are quite abstract looking. There's something quirky about them, you know, the far apart eyes, the pixie ears, or there's just something unique. And this is really asking you to look at your uniqueness and embracing that, but it's something about like smiling that out into the world. Like, if I'm giving myself permission to appear this way and embrace my quirks and actually be like, I'm so okay that I'm in love. I'm so in love with the way that I look in this particular instance, or the way that I hold myself in this way. I'm going to show this piece of my personality by the way that I stand, by the way that I sit. And there's just tiny little tweaks that you're doing that speak your quirks that perhaps have been hidden for a very long time. And I feel like they got dusty. So even if you express them as a child, there was like stuff in adulting that let dust settle on that particular quirk about yourself. And here you're stepping through a threshold. Oh, my throat just completely closed up. You're stepping through a threshold where it might be a bit scary because my throat is still coming back to life. But there's a real expression. It's almost going to make you cry. You're going to be so proud of yourself. Wow. I have to move on. We've been focusing on just these 3 cards. There's a lot of messages here, guys. I'm going to take that. Ideation. It's putting, that's so alchemist, right? It's putting the ideas into motion. And one of my favorite sayings is to move with your manifestations. You really are doing that, and I'm really, really proud of you. I know how much work it takes. The curatorial sense of this card, the Virgo card, is really coming through with this ideation. It's like I had a vision and I'm seeing it through. This is who I recognize myself as. This is how I recognize myself as showing up in the world. And now I'm starting to live that. Here it is. Here is the starting point, and here is where I'm going. You know, it's like one of those TikTok videos where it's like, hey, future me, you're going to be so proud of how far I've we're coming, and it's you like working out, or it's you eating better. It's making choices for yourself, but I'm really feeling like you've finally got some more space to be able to do that. And although it's like, there's a sense of like empty nest. So you may have just recently had a breakup, or children leave the home, or pets leave the home, or just someone's away for a while. If there's any loss, I really feel like your pain on that situation. But you're choosing to see a brighter side of this, and actually you're really looking at how to transmute again the energy of something that was dense into something that is light and bright and beautiful, and it smells good and it looks good and it feels really good. And then you're able to walk through the door of your home And every time you walk in, you feel safe. You feel exactly like yourself. And every time you walk out, it's almost like there's no change. You know, I walk out safe. I walk out poised. I walk out confident. And that's beautiful. This is like a whole plan has come together here. Incredible. Thank you, Spirit. This is a beautiful message. What else is happening? Oh, there's something that's flipped. What is that? Faith. You gotta have faith, 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 baby. I'm gonna take that one. Death. Yeah, we did feel that. There's a nostalgia, and there's also something that has passed. Okay, so if it's a person, a pet, an idea, a relationship, a time, a space, furniture that needs to go, clothing that needs to go, behaviors that need to go, you've had faith that all of this would work out for the best. And it's interesting that this card really features like a lavender tinge, and then this card has a bit more of that darker, like mossy green kind of color to it. So it feels like there's new growth, because the death card often talks about rebirth as well. And so you're really healing through whatever ending you've had here in a way that you've never dealt with grief or loss or pain or sorrow before. You're really, really maturing. I'm so proud of all of us, this collective energy, just beautiful. Real maturity here, and really like honoring what was by continuing to practice. And that means live out what you may have discussed with this person, what you promised this person, what that person and yourself spoke about. It's really honoring self, but it's honoring memories as well, the best kind of memories, and transforming something that was very difficult into something that is not in vain, not in vain. Can we get some more information for the collective around this transformation that is taking place in March, please, Spirit? More information from the collective. The moon makes complete sense. I'm going to actually flip this. 5 of Wands in reverse. It's time to, I mean, the healing is happening, but it's time to work together. It's time to communicate. Look at that, the death card again. The star. Oh my goodness me. Holy moly. 5 of Swords. You've got the 5 of Wands and the 5 of Swords in reverse here. It's almost like you're really taking a breath with this breath of fresh air that you're injecting into your home and your idea of family. You're really injecting it into how you see yourself, how you want to move forward. With the moon and the star here, it's like if you haven't been through a dark night of the soul or a tower moment, or really just been stuck in this death energy for a while now, and even if you haven't, there is a side message here that is saying it's okay to keep living. It's okay to keep living. Very important message from Spirit. Okay? You can look at the cloud that's moving over. It's not taking up the whole sky anymore. Okay? Yes, there is a memory here, but I also feel like the memory never ends. With this Faith card, it feels like energy's all around you anyway. Okay? The memory never ends of appreciating what was. And from that, I just heard return to the earth, return to the soil. From that, a whole field of ideas, a whole field of expression explodes forth. Here's the transformation you've been internally taking, and then I feel this rainbow energy coming out of your crown chakra is really like your expression into the world. You're really transmuting the death of something or someone and turning it into that new growth. You may not know entirely why this is happening this way. You may not know, you may not have closure about the situation at hand, okay, when it comes to this death energy. You may not know the whole picture just yet. And I'm hearing it's not time yet. But what you are doing in the meantime, how you are transforming in the meantime, Spirit really says maturity. Spirit really says huge understanding on your part, huge not just lesson, because it's like this person or this thing didn't need to end in order to teach you this lesson, but I feel like this challenge was for you because you've experienced it. And what Spirit is trying to say is the lack of closure is the lesson, not the actual end or the death. That wasn't the lesson. It was perhaps for other people and for the person or the situation. But it really feels like the lack of closure or the lack of finality, also like the lack of being able to say goodbye, or just things being not completely, you know, it might have been too soon, it might have been accidental, but of course it's predestined. Like everything is how it should be, but also the awareness that this is bringing to you is incredible. You will never forget this time. You will look back on this time with joy and gratitude in your heart because of the way that you have taken this on board and in your stride, and not just inner dialogue and inner transformation, but this is a time in your life where you are having one of your biggest transformations externally that you've ever had. And it's almost like thank you. You're saying thank you so much for this opportunity. Very strangely, it's hard to express what they're saying because it can sound insensitive to the real world. And often like our ancestors, our past loved ones, past friends in the spirit world, they don't necessarily understand how to communicate with the rest of the world. They're like, it's okay, it's fine, and we're still grieving. But they're really saying like, you're transforming so much here that they're so proud of you and you should be celebrating. Like there's a lot of like celebratory energy here, and you're like, but I don't know why I feel like this. And they're actually saying it's totally okay. It's totally perfect. It's exactly the way it needs to be. You know, if you focus too much on what went wrong, you will miss this message. You will miss this opportunity. And they're really saying like, you haven't missed this opportunity. And this is why it feels like, yes, you're in pain, but you're transforming, you're transmuting, you're alchemizing so much here. And you're setting yourself new boundaries, you're setting yourself new rituals, you're really having a deeper insight into the way that the cycle of life works, and specifically for you. And this is something that you have done, just you. It feels like a very solitary kind of transformation happening here. It's almost like you're not talking to anyone about this. People are just seeing it, and people can energetically feel it. And in fact, it's putting you in a position of deep, deep, deep healing. And through this deep healing, you're glowing, you're shining, you're becoming. And I really feel like this, I have to get clarification on this star energy, but I really feel like it's setting you on course for where you've always meant to be, where you've always meant to shine. Perhaps it's like driving you in a new direction career-wise as well, or just expand. There's an expansive energy here to this star card. real level up kind of energy. And we can see that with the roots and the self. It's like just a deep sense of appreciation, and that is super healing. The success, and it's such a strange word to put in the same sentence as all of this, but the success that is becoming you, not just coming to you, that is literally coming from out of your body, from out of your mind, from out of your soul. That success was born in you, and it's like it's unfurling in front of you. It's just very celebratory, this energy of the star. Can we get some more info about this star energy, please? Nine of Pentacles. Deep independence, deep wish fulfillment, deep joy at just being like, I'm okay. Like, I'm more than okay. I'm more okay than I was, you know, a year ago, 3 years ago. I'm the best I've been in a very, very, very long time, is this Nine of Pentacles. And it does feel career related. It feels like the investment that you've put into yourself and the alchemy that you've transformed within yourself is really showing up as success. It is really showing up as clear boundaries, assertiveness, glowing skin, like good health, like good on you, a healthy pay packet, you stepping into your highest self that you've been in a very, very long time, and you have no idea why you're feeling like this in such a time as this. But you're choosing to smile. That just keeps coming up. You're choosing that. And that takes guts. That takes so much courage. And there's this thing about like trusting your gut. And that's why you can now, this cleanse that you've done on your whole life, you can now hear the messages. You can now hear your intuition again. You can trust your gut. You can trust your instincts. Seven of Pentacles as well. So you still have a ways to go when it comes to this career thing, this career advancement, this career opportunity. Opportunity is a word that's coming up a lot here, but it feels like you've reached a certain level of success. And from this point, this seedling, right? This seedling has sprouted, little sprouts. And now you're like, awesome. I've got sprouts. Now I'm going to make a whole friggin' plant. Like from this tiny part of seeing just a hint of a beginning and not needing to know the whole picture, not needing to see the whole plant and how it's going to look at the end. I know that if I keep doing this work on myself, if I keep alchemizing the pain, and not just the pain of this recent situation, but a lot of past situation, it's like you're fully like looking into, like peering into the curtain, and again coming back to that door of like the kingdom of your Akashic records, everything that was and was that could be in every life that you've lived, in the world around you. You're just seeing things differently, you're feeling things differently, you're hearing yourself differently, and therefore you show up differently. And you're working on this. This is something that is going to keep growing. This is commitment. This is gratitude. This is, I'm okay with the path ahead. I don't know the full picture yet, but it just feels like one foot in front of the other in a kind of quick succession. It feels like you're gaining momentum to be the most successful, happiest person that you actually can be. And this is not in vain. Death is not in vain. Okay? Pain is not in vain. What you are learning from your pain at this point, what you are transforming, is inspiring yourself. It is inspiring the universe to conspire with you and align so much with you. I feel like all the angels are just clapping and cheering, and there's a heaven song, right around you. You're choosing to smile, and life is smiling back at you. This is so beautiful. Let's end with an affirmation card, because this reading could go on forever. And you know I love my unicorn affirmators for the collective. If you like this reading so far, please let me know in the comments below. Claim this energy, guys. Absolutely. Claim it. You don't need to have experienced a physical death. It could be a death of behavioral patterns for you to still claim this success and this power to transform that you are currently undergoing and that you will continue to undergo in March. So like this video, let us know in the comments below. Let's share some of our good news. Wow. One more affirmator, please. Oh, I could cry. This is like the best news that I feel like a lot of us have been waiting for, like in so long. And especially if you have experienced a loss recently, like you were almost like, seriously? Really? Gratitude and ups and downs. Wow. Today I'm grateful for all the little things. Even when the big things suck, there are always plenty of little things that I can be at least a little bit grateful for. Like hot showers and music and the fact that humans invented an internet and I'm allowed to use it whenever I want to, using fingers and thumbs that do whatever I think them to do at any given moment. Sing in the shower. Sing your gratitudes out. Ups and downs. I see life as an incredible ride and I'm lucky to be on it. Yes, the ups and downs make me want to puke sometimes. That's that dropping feeling I was getting. But they're also what make things fun and interesting. And when you look back, even puking on yourself makes for a good story. Yeah, you're really just coming to terms with life. The whole cycle of life. Let's get a self-care card and we will end it there for you. This has come full circle and it feels like so will you. What's the self-care message for the collective in March, please, Spirit? What self-care do we need to focus on in March? I mean, cleanse your space is absolutely coming out here. I just know it. Even if it doesn't fall out, it's here. Cleanse your space. I just heard "and your face." Funny, Spirit. Oh my God. Clean your space. Sparkles and shine so you can see clearly out that window in that mirror. Rest 100%. Get that beauty sleep. There's also like dreaming these ideas into life. Movement. Yep, we were talking about the physical body. Moving with your manifestations. You dream it and then you wake up and you do it. And beauty ritual. Loving and nurturing on your body. Okay. Such a stunning message. Do come back at the end of March if you really feel like you want to watch this again and see how far you have come. That's so important to look back and just be like, yes, me. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here. All the best in March and ahead. Let's call it Magic March. This is amazing. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.